Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm Conor from World Class Casting, and today I am doing 10 wonderful items to get that special person in your life for Christmas. Fishing edition. Let's go. Okay, so the first item that I got for you guys is a shallow diving crankbait. Shallow diving crankbaits are so useful for almost every scenario. I like to use them in weeds, I like to use them in grass, and with a sandy bottom. One thing to be cautious of is these treble hooks get caught on almost every weed if you're in a very shallow area. So I like to use them just above the weeds. These baits are great because you can regulate the depth by how fast you're cranking. You can get these crankbaits for about $5 at your local bait or tackle store. These are KVD brand. Coming in at number 9 on my list is the spinnerbait. It is important to note that while the spinnerbait may come in at number 9, that is not how I rank it compared to the other items. These are all great items to get. The spinnerbait is very versatile and you can get it in almost any color that you imagine. For coming in at around $5, that's not much of a bargain. Plus, it's useful in almost every scenario. These spinnerbaits can be used in weeds because they're fairly weedless because of this bar. They can also be used on a sandy bottom and in grass. My favorite color to use in the spinnerbait is white with a silver blade. But that's up to you to decide. Alrighty, so coming in with item number 8 is a good old fishing reel. Now as you can see here, I have 4 of the main fishing reels that we will use on this channel. First, I would like to start off with a closed cover fishing reel. This is what most kids start out with. I started out with this for many years, and it's very easy to use, quite self-explanatory, and it's not very hard to tangle, which is a huge plus, especially when fishing with kids. The next reel on my list is a spinning reel. This is actually my dad's, and these, just like closed cover, you could get for quite cheap. If you want to get a top of the line spinning reel, you can do that as well. Depends on how much you truly want to pay for it. Now what's nice about spinning reels is they are also not too hard to use. Keep in mind, it does take a little bit of practice though. You have to open the bail to cast and then close it again, then you can reel. Now, the next reel is this. This is a bait caster, and when I'm fishing for bass, I will use something very similar to this. My bait caster is the Revo SX. This is a pinnacle reel. This is actually the Pinnacle Vision, as you can see right here. Bait casters can get quite complicated to use because when you press the button to pop it off, when you cast you have to hold on to the line or else you get something called a backlash, which is quite challenging to untangle. Everybody gets them though, and it's just part of learning this style of fishing. And the fourth and final reel I have over here is another bait caster, but this bait caster is much heavier. We use this for muskies. Now, if you see this line that's on here, it's very heavy. This is my dad's, so this is probably 65 pounds. As you can see, it's very thick. And this is actually braid. The reason we use these for muskie is because they have quite a nice drag, they're bigger, and they can hold up to the pulling and the tension that muskies bring. This is the Abu Garcia 5600 C4. The seventh item on my list is your good old tackle box. I like to use a nice slim tackle box because they're easy to pack and they pack a lot of baits as well. Prices vary on tackle boxes depending on how much you really want to pay. You can get water sealed tackle boxes for around $15 a pop. These are a bit cheaper at around $5 to $7. These boxes have lots of compartments and are partially modular, allowing you to organize your baits in a way that you would like. Coming in at number 6 is terminal tackle. Now terminal tackle is hooks, sinkers, leaders, etc. This is my bigger terminal tackle box, and as you can see I'm running low. I need some more. But that's not a big deal because terminal tackle comes in at around $2 to $5 depending on size of hook, size of sinker, and what brand you're going to get. Terminal tackle is very useful. Terminal tackle is a definite must-have for any fisherman. My next item is a good old box of jigs. Jigs are extremely useful to put a worm on. They're very good for walleye fishing, and as you can see, they come in many various colors. Jigs are very useful to get your bait to the bottom very quickly. You can buy them in many different weights and many different sizes. You could get a whole collection of jigs on Amazon for about $12 to $15, but you can also get singular jigs at your local tackle store for a few cents. The next item on my list is a good old tackle bag. Now for me, this bag was reused from when I was in about 3rd or 4th grade. You can buy name brand tackle bags, or you could just reuse an old bag like I do. Tackle bags can be pretty expensive, but if you reuse, it's a good use of an old bag, and it's nice and cheap. Tackle bags are good for organizing your baits and throwing everything in for that fishing trip. It's also nice to have all of your fishing gear in one spot. That's why I love using a tackle bag. The next items on my list are tools such as pocket knives and pliers. Please remember to check your local knife laws before buying a knife. This is my Ducks USA assisted opening knife, and again I would like to remind you to check your local knife laws. You don't need a fancy pocket knife like this. Just a simple old razor will do as well. Or you could use an older style knife such as this. Pliers are very useful for when you hook a fish really deep down and you need help getting it out. Pliers are also useful for fish with teeth. This way you're not putting your fingers into a toothy mouth fish. Instead of buying a separate knife and pliers, you could also buy one big tool just like this. It comes with pliers, knives, and many various other tools such as screwdrivers and bottle openers. The price will vary on a lot of these tools, given what brand and what size you want to buy. For those of you who live in a colder state just like me, ice fishing season is right about here. Getting a nice little ice rod can be very helpful. They come in at around $50. This is in fact the Ice 13 Descent. This rod is great. It has an inline reel, and I put about 4-pound test on here. That's all I'm really gonna need for that bluegill and perch fishing. I also have a jig on here, but you can buy very, very small ice jigs for very cheap. I have those in my jig box that we saw previously. The final item on my list, continuing with the winter theme, is these clam gloves. These gloves are very useful for ice fishing because they're made out of that same neoprene that scuba divers wear. They keep your hands very warm and insulated, and they're okay to get wet. This grip here also allows you to hold your rod and the fish that you catch. These gloves are my favorite ice fishing gloves. I would really recommend. This concludes the video of the top 10 best fishing things to get for that fisherman in your life. Thank you for watching. I should hopefully have new videos up soon. Make sure to have a very happy happy holidays. See you later. Bye bye.